Hey, this is Jared with Pick This Car. So I hadn't made a video in a little while, and I was just thinking about how I should probably catch you guys up on my life. It is laundry day today, so I'm wearing this Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirt. It's from my brother. I got it a long time ago. It doesn't fit me very well, like especially in the shoulders, and it says it's a medium, and like all my other shirts are medium, but this is like way tighter. Who knows why? Anyway, not that Red Hot Chili Peppers isn't an excellent band. I kind of want to be making videos more often than this, but if I can only muster up like one per month, then so be it. It's better than nothing, right? So, I was thinking about what I could talk about in a video today, and actually something just happened yesterday that has had me thinking a lot. So I made a trip to Costco last night with my boyfriend and my boyfriend's older sister and her friend, so there were 4 of us in the car. I was driving, we get to the parking lot, and it's Richmond, BC, so it's an insane thing where people are always waiting for an open spot. And I see that someone's backing out. There were other open spots available, and I should have just taken one. And so I stop and turn on my signal, and then as the person's backing out, another person comes from the other direction and turns on their signal to go into the spot. At this point I get kind of flustered, and I don't know, like I maybe hadn't been having the best day, so I get in like this super aggressive mode where I'm like, I'm gonna take this parking spot. And I even like pull forward while the person's still backing out and realize that like in my stupidity and rage or whatever, I haven't left them enough room to back out, and I feel like an asshole, so I like throw it in reverse. And at this point I think my blinker is now off, and like I'm reversing a little to give them some room. I still want this spot. When they actually get to where they're like backed out and they're about to drive forward, I go around and kind of pull in like this janky manner like into the parking spot, and I'm like not in it very well. And then the person who wanted the spot, who came there after me and had turned on their blinker after me, parked straight behind me, so I couldn't like back out to adjust my position in the spot and not park like an asshole, even though by this point I was already kind of being an asshole. Yes, I still think the spot was rightfully mine. I was there, I had my signal on before she did. Anyway, she's not moving, she's behind the car, so I see no other solution. Keep in mind, I have 3 other people in the car. I'm kind of embarrassed by this point. I get out, I go back, I talk to her, I tell her, look, my signal was on, I was stopped waiting for the car, you came after and you put your signal on. The spot's mine, like you can't take it. She insisted over and over that my signal wasn't on. And I'm so sure that I turned it on that I was adamant to her, and instead of like backing down and apologizing, I wouldn't apologize. I was like, no, this is my spot, go away. Get out of the way, get out from behind my car, I need to adjust my spot. I rarely ever do stuff like this, and having been aggressive and claimed what was rightfully mine or whatever, after the whole scenario, I guess, like, I didn't feel better. I felt shitty. I felt like, you know, if that person wanted that spot so bad and was claiming my blinker wasn't on, like, maybe even if I'm positive it was on and I was sitting there regardless, waiting before her, maybe I should have just turned off my signal and drove on and, like, you know, left her to take that spot. It's been a while since I've been in a situation like this where I can say that I, like, stepped up and became aggressive to get something. I have to say, coming out of this particular situation, that it wasn't worth it. And that's not always the case, but in this situation, it just didn't make me feel better. I should have remembered to pick my battles and known that this was a time when it was probably better to back down. She may have been like down for an argument over a parking spot, but I was not. And I thought I was. So, lesson learned. Oh my god, does this phone have to fall every single time? Class act right here. Check out this key to my car. It's so pathetic. Like, the person, like, super glued it before, but I was doing something releasing, like, the back seat, and it broke again, and then so I glued it back on with super glue into its plastic thing. Basically, this metal thing comes off of this plastic thing. Even, apparently, 13-year-old cars are advanced, though, to the point that when I just used the metal thing to try and start the car after the key broke, the car wouldn't start. It just turned over and didn't fire. And then when I, like, got it close to this plastic, apparently there's some chip in here, so that when you crank and turn the car, it fires, it turns on. I guess it's so like if you made a forgery of this metal part of the key and tried to start the car, you wouldn't have the chip from inside here. Makes them less easy to steal, I don't know. Also, like a day after the batteries in here went dead, so none of these buttons work. What else should I show you in this video? I have an idea. I'm really angry at this Canadian ruler because it has centimeters, obviously, because the metric system is great, don't get me wrong, I like it. But then when you flip it to the other side to find something else useful, like maybe inches, I don't want to be like that American who's like, maybe if toss inches on this ruler, they just give you other metric measurements that are the same, very similar to centimeters, like millimeters, which are represented already on this centimeter side. and centimeters, which are centimeters, but without, it's the same. What the fuck? And then a decimeter, which most people know if you studied the metric system, is 10 centimeters, which you already get. Like, this ruler just, instead of putting inches on the other side, it just gives you the same thing. Give us poor Americans something. So my boyfriend, like, saw my struggles, and he's like, oh, I think you have another ruler. And he brings me this one, which has centimeters on one side, and then centimeters on the other, with, like, without the millimeter markings. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, not much else to say. The whole reason I was dealing with rulers is because I'm prepping the interior of the book and the cover of the book. It will be on Amazon in less than a month, I hope. And yeah, I'll give you updates later on how that's going. Leave a comment below if there's anything you want me to talk about in future videos. I had some trouble coming up with things to talk about in this one, so I'm so happy that you guys still watch me after all this time. It's great. It's fun to make these. I love making them. I always have. Yeah, that's all. Talk to you guys later, soon, I hope. Sooner than another month. Anyway, I'll see you then. Goodbye.